think we're gonna be good to go. How's it going, everybody? I'm the Zaben, Neo Zaben here on Broadcast Zaben, and today we're gonna be, well, it is pretty late at night. For me, it's already midnight. Sorry. It's 12:39. Well, I might as well say 12:40 a.m. midnight. Morning is until another 5 hours. I think we've settled on morning being about 5. But again, I do apologize. Well, I said again. I didn't even say it in the first place. I apologize now for anybody who notices my voice is not normal because oh my gosh, I am a bit sick, and it's been what, a day or two. Well, might as well say 2 just for safety. Being like this now. Earlier today, I did try to do a Fortnite one, but I mean, it didn't go as good as I wanted. Good guy Ryan, how you doing? I didn't expect you to be on this today. But yeah, I am just not that tired. Trying to get myself to be a little bit more exhausted, because for me it's the middle of the night. But I figured, hey, why not? We'll do something before we go to bed. Because honestly, I have not, like, I have the energy, but like my body being sick is just like, ew. So it's horrible, but it's fine. I mean, I'm drinking, and surprisingly, this kind of helped me out. I'm drinking soda. I took cough drops most of the day. I was drinking tons of water and stuff, and I didn't. What did I do? I went outside and I walked, and walking kind of helped. I don't know what happened. I think I was because I was trying to sing. I was forcing myself to sing, and it really worked. It worked. But right now, I'm like, just tired out. Or at least mentally tired. I don't even know how I want to explain that. Yeah, I figured. I've always figured it out whenever we stream or whenever you're, on or not. I always got to do a 6-hour difference. So for you, it's 6 a.m. For me, it'll be, or it is, 12. Well, it says 12:40 a.m., but really we could just say 12 a.m. Ugh. And typically, whenever, oh look, see, my voice sounds a little bit better. It's every time I'm drinking that soda. Dr. Pepper, okay? It's called Dr. Pepper for a reason. There's something about it that reminds me of another drink that I had. What was his name? Oh yeah, Time Zone. At 6 G's. No, I was gonna say usually I would wake up at 6 a.m. when I would go to school, but I just remembered, no. There was only a couple instances where I did wake up at 6 a.m. During my senior year, my last year of high school, or I think for you, you said it was college. The very last year, my last 2 years actually, I was taking a physical class called CrossFit. I mean, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a high performance workout within a short period of time. So basically what it would do is for 15 to 20 minutes we would do a intense workout with the teacher, and then the rest of the time would belong to us. Of course, the beginning and the end of it, we would be able to go to the locker room and change into our gym uniforms or whatever, or fitness attire. Oof. To be honest, I don't even remember what I was doing with this green dye. I feel like I had an idea and I don't remember now. Oh wait, no, I do remember what I was doing with that. We have to dig. Anyway, sorry about that. But as I was trying to say, in my last year, and my best buddy, the World of Jay, also was a part of the same class. So he would wake up at the same time, and we would go. Yeah, honestly, I feel you. But the only time we really woke up that early was to go to school. I think it was about an hour before everything started, and we would do a intense workout with the teacher before everything started. So for a while it was Uh, for a while, it was us actually exercising with the teacher for a bit way before school started, and then we would do it again whenever we had it, and then sometimes they would offer it even after. So sometimes there would be a point where you're going 3 times. But I think for the most part it was twice. Either you would go in the morning or you would go after school. It really varied. Ooh, excuse me. But yeah, honestly, I hated waking up early for school. I've always wanted school to be late, but if you make it later, obviously you get out way later. So you know, it's a horrible kind of trade-off. Like, yeah, let's have school start late, but then you get out, you go, you know, you spend like what, 7 hours there. It's basically like a job. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. But yeah, I always am the same exact way. I'm not even in school anymore, and I'm having all the memories of needing to wake up. Like, it's horrible. Never going in early, huh? I was always a student who made it on time. Always on time. Never early unless early was for certain situations. Like I said, before school we had CrossFits, and I loved working out. Still love working out. Um, and maybe that I'm just weird, but I really enjoy having a instructor, someone there, kind of being like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. I don't know what's up with that, um, but that's always been me. I mean, that's good. That's good. For school, never early. Although other things in life, you may want to be early just to kind of prove a point, depending what they are. I used to always try to be early when I had my fast food job, and it didn't do jack squat. Like, Dad didn't do anything aside from just, hey, look, he's early, punch in and help everybody do their job and make people leave faster. And it's just like, ugh, I'd rather not. Um, that's all. I mean, don't do fast food. Fast food, if that's your job in the future, like ever at a point, just go on time. Um, or any other job, really. If you get something like an office job or a really good job that you enjoy, go early and kind of show like you're the man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's gonna go and improve you a long way. That's what I always do. I know whenever we do one, typically on a Thursday, of course we're gonna take a break from it for a while because one, we're sick. Two, it's really cold outside. Um, but typically on Thursdays we have Army. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay. We have Army fitness training, which I brought up a couple times, and I'm always showing up early to that. And kind of my purpose or reasoning for being early, just for soldier training, is to prove to these guys like, hey, look, like I'm somebody who's showing up all the time and doing this, doing that. I'm not, what do you say, like a waste of time. Like if you give me the opportunity, we can make something out of it. So that's always been my thing with, in terms of like with the military or just things that are important in general. Always show up early to those things. But school, just show up on time. School is not important. I mean, honestly, once you finish your last year, you're gonna forget almost everybody you know or have ever met or seen. And it's gonna be the same vice versa. Like a couple of people know me. Oh, excuse me. Like a couple of people know me because I helped so many people get through school. Because I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty dumb. Maybe I'm just smart, but a lot of people in your time in school, it doesn't really matter too much. And as you get older, and this is a fact, honestly, what you're gonna want is, how they say, you don't want many friends, you're just gonna want real friends. Parents, I would assume, kind of encourage that you go out and make almost as many friends as possible, for the reasoning that you would have, well, those good, honest, real friends with you. But honestly, I say just don't focus on making just a ton of friends. Just focus on the ones that are always just going to be looking out for you, taking care of you, and are concerned about you. Don't just focus on the ones that are just um, that are, you know, hey, we're buddy buddy because we play Fortnite and that's it. Like, you don't play Fortnite with each other. You don't really talk aside of maybe just Fortnite or any other thing. Like, I know that's what we do, but I'm a YouTuber, right? Like, that's kind of all we really do. Um, but you know, I try to personally, I try to go ahead and on Discord usually. I don't usually check too much, but I try to prefer to make things on there. Ooh, excuse me. So there was, I would say, two major areas. The third one is not, I wouldn't say too major. Um, but one of them was math, because math in algebra and all that was very easy to me. Especially my senior year, I was teaching, I forgot how many people in one classroom, just to do, um, was it, oh my goodness, college algebra and trigonometry. That's what the class I had took. Um, or that's what it is here. um, and that's, in a sense, it's like taking an advanced class, right? It's like taking next year's class. But I was teaching a ton of people just how to do algebra and trigonometry for math. Then I taught a couple people how to do chemistry. I taught how to I taught almost half an entire class how to do physics. And physics was, I feel like, one of the easiest things at the time. Like, it was just, oh, hey, if a ball is up here and it's sitting there, what kind of energy is this? And it's like, well, it has potential because it's not this, but if it's moving, it's connected. Like, it was some of the most easiest things. But those were like the two major ones. It's usually anything science related or anything with math. Those were always like my subject, and I helped so many people out with those. Um, Science and algebra. I mean, yeah, it can't. I can understand. Sorry, I can understand for how people. It could be a pain. Not everybody's gonna understand. Um, but I think the last and final kind of subject that I had to help people with was also in um, uh, what was it? In English, right? Just simply learning words, using them in sentences, writing reports, essays, papers, whatever. It was never really too hard. There was even a point in my last year, we had to write a paper about something. I totally forgot what it was, and I remember writing up apparently like the best English paper that even the teacher herself like was grabbing it. Only noticed like two errors. Like, I forgot to like put certain punctuations, and I had to use some words differently because I was like repeating myself a little bit. But other than that, she was like, "This is the perfect paper. Everybody, look at what Neo's doing. Copy him." And then everybody would take my paper, and I'm just like, okay, well, how am I gonna do my work if everybody's stealing my thing? And you know, I gotta rewrite what I have. But yeah, honestly, I just realized you commented. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know what to tell you. But personally speaking, I don't know. Just those classes were just way too easy. Maybe it's the way that they were teaching us. Maybe I just catch on to things quick. Um, it's to me personally, those classes were not hard. Like, studying and remembering a lot of things. Like, even right now, like, or I wouldn't say right now, but rather today, my younger cousin, fourth, fifth grade, I don't even remember what year she's in, and she had to do this this thing, right? It was about expression of a factor, and a couple other things, and I was like, dang, this is math, and I feel like it's like this. And like, part of me was like, you know, putting all the, like, getting all the numbers right and stuff, but the other part of me was like, but am I even doing this right? So it was weird that even though I still got it right, but like part of my, like, my body knew, like, do this, and yet the other part of me was just double checking out of, like, you know, it being so long since I've been in a classroom learning these things. That's weird. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I never really liked teachers, or rather, at least from me personally, it was because students would talk to teachers and would want them to kind of rant on and on to waste time, so that way we aren't doing anything in the class. But then by doing so, we would have to do everything last minute. So it was really horrible, having, going through that. But I did have one teacher, my math teacher for algebra and trigonometry, and she was amazing at being able to multitask, talking like, hey, this is what we're gonna do. And then you had the other teacher, or the other side of her, like, whenever they would talk and bring up, like, oh, how was your day? She would be like, oh, it was cool, and we did this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And it was, like, really quick and to the point. Or she would bring up things like, okay, she was very engaging with the students, and I really enjoyed that. And honestly, that's what, if you want to be completely honest, is what makes a great teacher, is the ones who, who take the time to go ahead and make sure that you're understanding it in your own way. If you don't understand it via, like me picking these potatoes right now, if somehow potatoes isn't your thing, we could always use money instead. Everybody likes money, right? Or you could use a bunch of things like V-Bucks, which is still money and stuff. But that was awesome. I really loved that teacher, and I'm hoping, after we've already kind of gone through the process and everything with the military and do all that, we have a moment where we can, at least I heard this was a thing, I'm not 100% sure as of the moment, but you can do an appreciation for teachers that you had in the past who helped you to help get into it. And there was only really 2 teachers that helped me. Again, last year of school was my math teacher, and then I think it was my second to last year was a history teacher. So those were the people that I really loved. Alright, sorry. Was it, and this is just my question, was that in front of a classroom? Or was that, well, I mean, I'm assuming if you talked about it, it has to be in front. Unless you're answering, because the way, I mean, I don't know if schools really are different or what's differences in schools here compared to where you are. Ooh, in a hall. Jeez. So that's basically in front of everybody. Okay. Yeah. So for us, ow. I mean, I'm pretty sure it might be the same thing again. You're gonna have certain, how do you say, kind of like qualifications, I guess that's the word I can use, where you're gonna well, you're gonna have to, the teacher's gonna make you go up and be like, hey, you need to tell everybody, about this and about that. And, I mean, hey, I'd rather a bunch of people fall asleep. It makes it easier, honestly. But I do understand. I feel you. I remember for a while, I used to be pretty nervous myself going into a class, or rather in front of the class, and then having to talk about whatever my project is, or, and I remember, and, I should be more prideful about it. When I was talking during that presentation of mine about where, I'm from, and I think that was something we needed to do. I think it was something about culture. I could be wrong. But if I remember correctly, it was, I was bringing up about where I grew up, or not whether I grew up, but where my family comes from, Puerto Rico. And I was bringing up, like, this is of this and this is that, and it was something that was, I think at the time, it was just, hey, bring a location and talk about it or whatever. And I was just like, well, why not bring up where I'm from, or where my family and I are from. So alright, you go ahead, Ryan. I'm gonna keep on talking until eventually we get tired. But thank you for, coming in when you could. We might be able to go ahead and stream a bit later, so you'll get another stream going on about Save the World if you want to tune in for that. But thank you for coming in for this one, even though it was really early. All right. What was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah. So again, that was still part of my last year. I mean, it's kind of interesting how I guess my mentality's changed a lot because again, like I said, like I was bringing up a topic, and again, something I should have been, just proud and not be nervous about, but it's a situation that we normally as people really wouldn't be too comfortable with. We're not used to having so many people looking and staring at us. We're not having, um, you know, whoops, I only wanted half. We're not having, how do you say, like these long or big um, points or statements, heck, even arguments in front of people on a daily basis. Only people who, seem to be like political or are a part of businesses or organizations or something that they need to talk to a lot of people. Those are really the only times where, being in front of a lot of people is kind of like this big important thing. Now, I know in schools, or rather, I mean, I just know here, I'm pretty sure maybe other schools again are different, but here, a lot of the times it's people complaining about how schools are not teaching kids how to be their own kind of person after they graduate, and it is somewhat unfortunate, but there's like two sides of that argument. um, I feel like once you reach a certain age or whenever you do certain things, um, or yeah, once you reach a certain age, it can be something that parents are tasked to do. um, I feel like if schools are not the ones that are teaching, then shouldn't it be the parents that are teaching it? Because I remember having this argument before with Smooth Blue um, where it was about teaching children about sexuality and things like that. And even though schools are supposed to teach you the basics of sex education, um, apparently it's the parents' job to teach, kids about what homosexuality is, what is transgender, um, how are you supposed to how do you say um, address people who see themselves differently from what is the norm. Norm being short for normal. Okay, I just learned that. um, so it's pretty crazy, I think, um, to to think like you have somebody who's saying like, oh, but you know we went through, like, because she's like, I don't know if she would say she sees herself as a part of the LGBTQ or anything like that. I mean, maybe. I would just ask one of these days, like, hey, do you see yourself as a part of that, or you just don't care about it? Like, I mean, technically, would you be in it, or I would ask. I maybe later on one point I will ask her about it. Um, Here, to get somewhere safe because I deleted what I wanted to work on by accident somehow. So let's go, like, right here is pretty safe. Oh, and there's a bed, nice. Oh, here it is. Found it. I thought I deleted it by accident, but nope. I was looking in the wrong spot. This is the logo for Lacoste? Lacoste? I don't know how you say it. Um, but we're going to be doing the logo and then trying to see where it goes from there. Since we have a lot of different colors and stuff, or rather dyes, I figured we'd go and create the logo somewhere and try our best to kind of make it like 3D-ish, you know? Try to see if we can maybe make it like 5 squares or something, and then mold it a little bit, you know, make parts a bit round. I think that'd be dope. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes once we outline it and do all this stuff. But anyway, um, you know, I feel like there's a couple reasons. I mean, this is just me kind of just speaking as of now. Um, you know, because would it be dope if schools were, you know, teaching your kids, um, you know, how to do things for jobs and how to fill out taxes and stuff. And well, I did take there is a class. It's called consumer education. I don't know if all schools are required to do it, but in mine, we were definitely required to do it. Once we reached, I think, our last year of high school, and it was a pretty easy class, and I was very invested um, in it. And I think it was only half. It was only for one semester, so it was like 2 semesters within a year or something like that. I don't even remember how school works anymore. So we would learn how to do like our own taxes and stuff, and the idea was like, oh, you know, and he was teaching us, and he's like, oh, the idea is um, you know, you would learn how to do it here, so you're not going to somebody who's gonna end up you know, charging you a lot of charging you like hundreds of dollars to go ahead and make um, there we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was the idea. He was like, you know, I'm gonna teach you how you can fill out your own taxes, and if you know how to fill out your own taxes and stuff, that's gonna help you save money, because people who don't know how to fill out their taxes end up going to other people who, well, know how to do it, and they go, okay, well, you're gonna pay me $100. You're gonna pay me more than $100, and it's pretty insane to have to pay somebody that much for, you know, something that, I mean, at least you know, I would you know, maybe take a class, or you know, go back into my old notes that I used to have, or I still have them. I just gotta look for where they're at. And you know, look up like how to fill out my own forms and do my own things, and um, you know, that's what needs to be done and said. So um, I don't know. I just think it's a little ridiculous sometimes, but there's certain things that I think maybe should be left up to the parents, because if the idea is, excuse me, if the idea is that parents are supposed to be the ones that, you know, are teaching their kids about like um, homosexuality, uh, basically more like the sex things, then how come parents aren't the ones that are teaching their kids how to do things like taxes, or how to fill out some other things? Like, I understand that the point of school is to teach your kids important things, um, but I still think that by the end of the day, it's a responsibility of the parents to teach children how the world works. And I believe the best way for that to happen is to try and help their kids by being engaged with those tasks. You know, show your kids, like, while you're I don't know, paying bills, be like, oh, this is what we do, and then you know, show them every once in a while, or you know, do it a bunch of times. That's up to you as you know, a parent. And honestly, that would go a long way in a sense to have. You know, I see the pros and the cons of a school being able to teach things like filling out, you know, how to do your own taxes, which it did, you know, show me how to do that. It showed me how to fill out my tax returns and whatnot. So, um, you know, I took a class on that, and it was not too hard. And sure enough, you know, just thinking back on it now, it kind of seems like this is the way that I see it. I feel like parenting has also like changed. Usually we just say, we just say, oh my goodness. I feel like we say a lot that, you know, the future, children are our future, and, you know, we're trying to make it easier and stuff on them, but at the same time, you know, the mentality of those said children also changes, because, you know, we kind of live now in a point where it's a bit more focused on being lazy. You gotta admit, come on. Vinicius, I think hopefully I'm saying that right. How you doing, bud? You're coming in at, don't even know the hour. I want to assume it's 1 a.m. Ooh, that was close. 1:11. Yeah, I'm gonna still call it a point on. How you doing, pal? I'm over here talking about lazy parenting. I don't know how this happened. We're gonna blame good guy Ryan. No, I'm joking. I love good guy Ryan. I don't want to do that. But, you know, anything opinion wise, I mean, I just can't sleep, so I'm just trying to get myself to be tired out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, that's just my theory, and at some point we will, I don't know, I mean, if we invest more time into these little theories of ours, I think we can actually end up coming out with a new, either on our other channel, or create a third one. But I feel like if we create a third one, it might be kind of ridiculous to how do you say it? It might be a little ridiculous to go ahead and you know, make a third channel for just talking on the mic, pretty much. But I don't know. I've always had that in mind. I've always had tons of theories about things. Whenever given the idea, you know, you can talk about just a bunch of stuff. People usually bring out things that I don't care about. I'm sorry. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk with everybody on the Discord, which, if you're not part of our Discord, you should go ahead and please do that, because our Discord's actually a pretty awesome place where you guys can go ahead, you know, lets me engage with you, you engage with me, and it goes places. So that would be pretty dope. I would love to be able to go ahead and engage with everybody any way possible, because honestly, I mean, why not? Oh, we can actually make white dye. Oh, that's perfect. See, I'm not too familiar with Minecraft anymore. I feel like Minecraft's really, well, let me take my words back. I'm playing the Minecraft that I know, but the new Minecraft feels very different from this, and that's the main reason why we came back to this one. Just kind of due to the fact that it's such a different vibe. That's really about it. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's the best. I don't know. My words aren't really that great in terms of explaining it, but if I had to say anything about it, it would be Minecraft's just a weird place. I still think what they did with everything on here is a mistake. They should take those back. There's no reason to... Whoops. There's no reason to have some of the features that are on here. I just hurt my throat really bad with that sneeze. Ouch. Ooh, that hurts. Anyway, the reason, or the point that I'm bringing up how I think a lot of it's changed is because it's kind of another reason why we don't really get on Minecraft as much as we used to back when we were still figuring out what we need to do with ourselves, you know. But it's I don't know how I'd say it. How much will? First of all, let me do the math on how much of these I'm gonna need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We'll do 2 of these. 16. Wait, 11 is just for one side, I just realized. Okay, let's do one more, red. Okay, that's gonna be perfect. We could do that. Pink is 3, 6. 2 of those. Then we're gonna need just a lot of green and light green. So let's get rid of that. For now, I think what I'm gonna do is just break regular green, like about a stack. Let's do that. A stack of green, and then we're just gonna turn these as fast as possible. Turn these into regular. Turn these into regular blocks, and then use that to help us build. But of course, we need more open slots, so let's kind of get rid of some of these. And the same is going to be said with the other pieces too, so we're going to need a couple more pickaxes. Yeah, that should be good for now. Ouch. You know, I don't like to repeat too much, but sometimes it's fun. But I brought up tattoos, right? And I brought up with the whole tattoo situation, and this was earlier today, so if you guys, don't worry if you missed our, you know, Fortnite, it's fine. It wasn't too much of a big deal. I brought up tattoos, and I was still in debate about it, like even right now, just kind of just thinking and stuff, you know. I still don't know. I feel almost committed. Like I feel like right now, if you know, I go out with friends or something. Hey dude, Neo, let's go get a tattoo, bro. 20, 30 bucks, this big, right? Because I feel like right now I wouldn't get another big tattoo. I feel like I would get something small. So, oh, excuse me. So, oh god. With that kind of being said about the fact, you know, that I would get a small tattoo, which I already know once my mom sees it, she'll be like, oh my god. Right? Because my mom's one of those people where it's, in terms of tattoos, it's like, go big or go home, you know? She's that kind of person, you know? I love that mentality. Because honestly, it's awesome, you know, getting these, you know, awesome art pieces on me, and you know, that's like a, how do you say, like a, oh yeah, right, let's do it. Yeah, that's fine. You know, it's awesome getting these art pieces on me, and you know, like I've always said, it's always best if you do get a tattoo, or at least in the video when I was streaming it. It's always best to get a tattoo that means something to you. Honestly, I've always been more fond of a tattoo that means something than it does a tattoo that just looks cool. And I tried the idea with the boys, PB Joey, World of J, and like I said earlier in that stream, they just, or rather, PB Joey was kind of the issue at the time. You know, they're over here, um, looking at awesome art pieces and are like, you know, just like, yeah, dude, we should do this, we should do that. And they're like, oh, you know, it's kind of get something that's a little more meaningful. And they're like, yeah, you know, kind of going back and forth and like, you know, what's dope, but also like means something. And at the time, it was simply the Trinity map because it's something that's simple and not too crazy. Wouldn't be big, so at least you know if you wanted to get it somewhere, you know, it wouldn't be noticeable. Like for example, let's say like you want to get it on your back, your anywhere on your torso, which is like your chest and such. I mean, your abdomen also. You could get it on your legs. You could do, you know. And when I was doing it, I was like, oh, maybe I'd get it, you know, on the shoulder or chest. Um, right? And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll get it on my other leg, so I could have one theme on here and another theme over here, and it was like that for a while. But again, like I said in the stream from earlier, PB Joey kind of ruined the whole thing by, you know, being okay with it, and then as time moves forward, when we talk about it more and more, he just flakes out on the idea. So for those who don't know what the Trinity Knot or the Triquetra is, basically it's, I believe, something that came from Nord mythology, or at least that's where it started from, in Nordic, or Nordith? I don't know how you pronounce it, but Nord mythology, you know, under things of like Odin and such, but it's been used a lot in, or it's been, you know, every religion's gonna rip off one another of some kind, right? So, you know, I was doing research on it because he's a kid. It's like, oh, what does it mean? Why are we getting that? And I was like, well, this is things that it can mean. You know, saying like, well, you know, like this is what's popular as of now. This is what people like it to be. And there was like a bunch of stuff, and you know, again, the fact that a lot of religions will take from another. Oh, excuse me. The fact that religions take from another, just made him kind of like, oh no, you get religious tattoos, so I'm not gonna get that one then. And I'm just like, are you serious? And then he goes, I'm gonna get a skeleton arm on my forearm. And I'm like, huh? And then he sends a picture that somebody had where it's, you know, the outline of the bones in your arm, your forearm, all the way to your fingertips. And then I'm just like, at the time he was working at a different job. He was working at one where, I mean, even in this one, same scenario. And you know, I was talking about it, and you know, I was like, you know, this is a stupid idea. Like, you know, if you get this, you know, people are gonna judge you harsh for that. And you know, even if places accept you, most places would want you to cover something like that up. And you know, he's just like, oh, I don't care. You know, the place that he was working at the time, he was like, oh, but they don't care. If you know, they said it's fine if you have it and it's showing. And I'm just like, are you serious? And I even like thought about it. I'm like, you know, what if you don't work there anymore and you want to go work somewhere else? It's like, how's somebody, when you go interview with them, they aren't just gonna look at you and go, oh, this guy, yeah, I don't know, you know. And that's the thing. It's fine to have tattoos and stuff, but in terms of at least looking somewhat professional, it's usually best to kind of have it in places where normally you wouldn't see it. So for example, like me, I have it on my leg, so the only time you'd see it is in shorts. So if I ever had a job, you wouldn't see it because I'd be wearing long pants. But if I had shorts or short pants, it'd be a completely different story. It'd be like, oh, okay, you know, yeah, you see his tattoos, and even then, it's not too bad. Like I got tribal stuff on my leg, but even then, you know, for a lot of people, that could be something that comes across as something that's bad. Let's lay this flat, like right here. But you know, that's just you know, trying to put perspective in other people's minds. Um, because you know, another point that I'm gonna bring up here is you know, the World of Jay has a sister who works, and what she does is she helps, you know, she works at a, I guess you could say it's a retail job, selling only shoes, and apparently an older woman, um, you know, was in the store and like didn't want to help or want her help or to do anything with her because um, you can see on her arms she has tattoos, and you know it's kind of a small little shoe place. Like if I say the name of it, people are just gonna be like, huh, what? Like I never heard of this place. But if I say something like Champs or Foot Locker, then everybody, you know, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I know those places. Um, but you know she's working at like a little shoe place, and you know this old woman sees her and you know gets yelled at by her about having tattoos and stuff, and it's like, what is this mess? You know. And you can also say like in terms of certain people, it can also be seen as like a religious thing because tattoos are like seeing. I think this is like in the first half, you know, when you know the Christ is not even born. Um, sorry, but you know, like I think it's by testimonies or something like that. Like there's the first testimony and then there's the second, something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm getting it wrong, so don't hate me too much for getting my information wrong here. But like the Bible itself is split into like two halves, and really, depending on which part of religion you are, even you know Catholic and Christian are very different. So, um, and you know I even realize even like Jewish is like a play, or I was to say a play, is kind of like the same thing in a way, isn't it? Where it's like you believe the same thing, but you just kind of interpret it differently. I'm not 100% sure. But don't get mad at me if you're religious and you know you're not the same religion as I. You can say jokes and stuff. I don't mind. Just don't bring up anything too offensive. And that's another thing that I brought up in Discord is usually I don't want to bring up things in there about it, but sometimes I do, and it's kind of out of my control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, excuse me, I think this is how we do it. Alright, let's see if we can try to get this built. Or maybe we should do it the other way. Maybe have it looking outward. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, like, I would say this. um, if you want a tattoo, go ahead and get it. I would say for your first ever, right? Look at it. You know you like what you see. You're like, dang, this is really cool and blah blah blah. You know, maybe go for it. But I would say get it again, like I said, in a location or spot where maybe not a lot of people will be able to tell. Right? You know, like me, get it on your leg, where the only time people will see it is like if you're out on the beach or wearing shorts out on a sunny day. Um, maybe you, maybe you, how do you say? you want to get something on your arm. You know, maybe invest a bit more. Maybe learn about. Again, I always say the best thing to do, or rather, what my mentality at least. It's always best to invest in yourself. You know, your future and all, instead of kind of living in the now. Because again, like some places will be completely fine. Like where I used to work at, it's kind of dumb that they made you cover it up. But you could cover it up. So, um, I mean, that is kind of something that's up to you guys. I mean, you know, look into, you know, career-wise, look into places that are gonna be okay with that. I mean, some places might not even care, like if you, but I always try to look for the fuller image of how do you say, the bigger picture. You know, because I don't always see myself, um, you know, realistically speaking, I don't always see myself being here, um, you know, talking with you guys about you know, Fortnite, Minecraft, and all that. But it's something that, you know, it is personally like an investment. I do love being able to talk with you guys. I love um, that like environment we've kind of, you know, made together. And I gotta make this a little higher. Whoops. And you know, that's, you know, my I don't know if I want to say accomplishment, but you know, the greatest thing to kind of come out of all of this really is, you know, starting up the Discord and, you know, oh, you know what? I didn't even do these. You know, we're just gonna make these green. I mean, in the picture it's red, but we're gonna make it green. But you know, that's, like I said, like an accomplishment, you know, being able to kind of just talk with you guys, build up this little like community of ours. You know, we have 50 subscribers, which blows my mind because that's like 50 more than we have like 53, but it's literally 50 more than what I would have expected us to have doing live streams, and you know, it's insane, you know. um, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5, okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Whoops. I I don't know what else to really say. um you know, it's just the greatest thing, honestly. um and you know, I really couldn't have done it without any of you guys. Six. Okay, I gotta do 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4. Okay, now we gotta get rid of these. We gotta get lower. Perfect. Let's see. Okay, that's a decent outline. We might change color of a couple things. I feel like once we kind of get everything outlined, we'll invest time into making sure that there is certain colors representing certain things. Like so. Alright, so how many am I going out? Because we're building this gator thing, and once we get the outline, it's pretty much easy from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, we are really not gonna have enough. Wait until it gets to 6. Because we're gonna need a lot more than that. Okay. Go like that. You know what I realized? We didn't bring in the other colors. Which isn't... Oh, wait, no, we did. We got the other colors, we just never turned them into concrete. Okay, we can, we need some of the pink. We only need about 2 of them, really. We'll do them over here, where at least we'll be able to kind of jump out really fast. And we could drop the flower. We don't really need a flower. It's 1:36. We'll probably do maybe watch us last another hour. I was gonna say half hour, but I have a feeling we're not gonna have we're not gonna last half hour. Like, we're not gonna be gone that quick. But man, oh man, it's funny. It's crazy to think, like, with good guy Ryan. I don't know. It's just so weird because it's like, you know, it hasn't been that many years, and you know, I feel like I'm in, you know, a mentor in a sense. It's probably weird, you know, to think of the situation like that, but that's what it personally, in a way, feels like when, you know, I'm talking with good guy Ryan sometimes, even though most of the time he's usually the one that's out helping me with things. Typically Fortnite, because he knows a lot more about it than I do. And the way that he seems to be, you know, I can definitely see him going places. I can definitely see him, you know, if he, I would say, maybe invests time, you know, there's a lot of possibilities for him. You know, if he already has, like, hey, you know, I got this career kind of planned out for me, I'd be like, you know, that's dope, you know, keep that going, keep your careers and goals in mind, because you never want to lose those. So, but in a way, going back, like talking about, sometimes I feel like this, like, I don't know, mentor. It's because there is times, you know, where, you know, he comes in, he talks about his mind, and, you know, I'm always kind of open, and you know, it was amazing. And maybe the reason is because I'm just engaging. But, you know, we'll do 16 just in case. But like I said, like, maybe it's just because I'm engaging, and the reason kind of why I'm able to engage and be like that is because we don't really have that many subscribers, you know. Like, if we did, you know, if we had like hundreds of thousands of subscribers or something, I'd probably be that person, you know, who would lose people in the chat, and, you know, that's fine. I understand that for a lot of big YouTubers, you know, there's so many people that tune in that you only could catch what you see at times. But, you know, excuse me. Yeah, for me, the audience has really been good guy Ryan, and I'm always gonna call him good guy Ryan because he was such a good guy helping us out. when, you know, I guess I was just trying to be humble, maybe modest. You know, he was like, hey, do you want weapons? Do you need help? Do you need that? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then he's just like, he just kind of took advantage of that. He was just like, where are you at? Where's your location? This and that. I'm just like, what do you want? My social security too? No, I'm joking. Um, but you know, he was just like, you know, what's server internet thing, and I was just like, oh, I'm this and blah blah blah. And, so I remember I was playing Save the World, because that's the reason why he was asking for all that info, and I was just like, yeah, this is me, blah blah blah. I do a game. Um, some guy joins. Ooh, that was a good sip. Some guy joins. I'm like, awesome. You know, we have more help. It was like, I don't know if it was just me and him, but I have a feeling, I want to say the first time Good Guy Ryan joined the match was in Plankerton, which is a mixed area. Like, if I remember correctly, it has like it gets into like some desert areas. And if I remember correctly, that was one of the missions he joined. And I was like, oh, yay, somebody joined. Nice. Like, I didn't know his name at the time. And then I was just like, okay, yeah. Let's, ouch. I was like, yeah, let's get this mission done and blah, blah, blah. And then some guy was blocking me. And I was just like, you know, being the same way. I'm like, no, I don't have weapons or something like that. And the next thing I know, this dude gives me a bunch of, like, level 130 weapons. And that's the maximum level, like... Oh, there we go. For anybody who doesn't play Fortnite Save the World or doesn't really know anything about it, you upgrade weapons, and the highest level it is 130. So it was incredible just like to see somebody do that and give me all these weapons. I was like, what the heck? And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, of course I'm gonna take all that stuff. Like, why would I pass on all those weapons? And then I remember I saw like the notification pop up, and I was like, what the heck? And then I look, and it's freaking Good Guy Ryan. He's like, it's me. He didn't say it like that, but he's like, it's me. Like, I'm that guy. Like, I'm like, are you serious? And it was still in the middle of the match. So I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, it's me. And he's doing the little laugh emote, I think. And that, from that point, it was just gold. Like, Good Guy Ryan, like, if anything, you know, maybe with a bit more talking and planning, like, and hopefully with some more popularity, you know, we could get this channel off its feet and, you know, do something good. I've always wanted to, do a bit more on the channel, you know. I wanted to do giveaways. I wanted to do, kind of like a, I mean, really just giveaways. And a couple other things. But the best thing that I've, or at least I feel like the best thing that I was able to do was, you know, I bought him an emote once, and then the rest was just being able to play with the guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try to get this built a little bit more. See, this went from talking about theories and stuff, and and schools and all that BS, and now it's all about, hey, look how good Guy Ryan is. Look how close we are. We're like almost done. I think what I'm gonna do is maybe make a black, since we have the ink sacs, make like a black for the eyes, and then see where it goes from there. Dirt it is. Okay. We're gonna need to be more to the left. You know, I'm surprised we never made more bamboo, or rather, we didn't make more bamboo. I didn't grab more bamboo. But you know, I hate to repeat myself, but you know, am I doing this right? Yeah, because it's one block. Okay, okay. So we need to put it about here. But thanks. So how many more do I need? Oh boy, more than 16, that's for sure. Now that I'm looking at it again. Oh my goodness. But yeah, there's like so much. It's so crazy to think, like, there's so much to say about Good Guy Ryan, man. You know, sure, time zones is different, but I've always had like that mentality, like, if something happens, and this, I don't know where this came from. Okay, now if somehow Good Guy Ryan comes in and he looks at this and he's, you know, I'm pretty sure he won't. He likes being here whenever we do the stream live, but I've always, like I was trying to say, kind of had this mentality in mind. I just need 4 sand, easy. Not even that. We need more gravel. Let's go back. I kind of had this mentality in mind where, if for some reason we explode or go higher in subs or anything like that, really, where we're starting to get like an income out of this or anything like that, that I would go ahead and try to pay back Good Guy Ryan, because, you know, he's the guy who keeps coming back, and he's done so much for us, and he's given us emotes, and, you know, he didn't need to do those. He didn't need to do that, you know, because he's kind of the reason why now I say, like, what is, you know, my opinion in the item shop, because sometimes he would ask. He'd be like, oh, what do you think about these things in the item shop? And I was like, oh, well, you know, okay, well, this is the item shop, and this is what's there, and I think this is pretty cool. I think this is kind of whack. You know, if there's these two things, I'd go with this over this, and, you know, I was explaining it like that, and it just kind of, you know, became this habit where now, wherever we start, I always give my opinion on what's in the shop, right? And oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm not trying to use that as to be like, hey, look, Ryan, spend your money on me, do this, do that. Like, it's not that mindset. Like, I'm not begging or pleading to be like, hey, please, I need this, I gotta have it, you know? Because I've always had kind of that mentality, just be like, okay, well, we can do so and so, and then we can get, you know, the amount of V-Bucks, and we can go ahead and do it. And, you know, that's been on the stream for a while now, where we will play through Save the World, and I go, okay, I only need to do this and that, and then we get the V-Bucks, and then bloom, 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 and you know, and that's how it's been. But like I said, like, you know, Good Guy Ryan, he's just this great kid who I barely even know. You know, he's got a lot in common with, well, I wouldn't say a lot, because I mean, school-wise, no, I'm joking. I'm messing with you guys on that part, but But you know, it's great kid, man. And again, like I said, if anything happens, you know, one day we go boom and we get a bunch of people, or for some reason, you know, just got the opportunity to, you know, kind of give back, that's what I would do. You know, I feel like if for some reason it's like I'm in the UK and it's like, hey, you know, come out of your comfort zone, meet your number one YouTuber. You know, I say that now. I'm pretty sure he's got a better YouTuber than me. He probably likes, I don't know, like PewDiePie or Markiplier more than me, honestly. I mean, he probably watches different YouTubers, to be completely honest. I just went for some of the top gamers, or at least in terms of YouTube gaming. I kind of went for one of the top people. Um, you know, but and then another reason is because he did say one time, and I kind of took it to heart because it felt really nice. He was just like, you know, this is my favorite channel. You know, I love showing up for the streams, and I'm just like, wow. And I think the reason, and he said it's because I'm, you know, I'm myself, I'm me, and that goes a long way. So, all right. So, it's great that, you know, I can go ahead, just do what I do, and you know, have you guys appreciate it. And if not all of you, at least Good Guy Ryan. All right, we're supposed to make it hard. So, that's always been pretty neat. Pretty darn neat, man. I really wish you could just throw these into the water and then pick them up already made. Like, I wish I could just go bloop. Oh no, what did I do? And then... Uh-oh. We gotta get that covered. There we go. See, like, I wish I could just do that. But nope. It doesn't count. So it's very disappointing. I'm gonna set it all down, turn it to day, and then we'll be back to working on the thing. But yeah, that's always what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do that. And again, reasoning for it, because, you know, Good Guy Ryan, man. I feel like because of him, we had a kind of like a break in kind of a bit of a, you know, in that poverty that we had of just like really going nowhere, or at least in terms of making videos. Like, why am I making videos if nobody's watching? And you know, Good Guy Ryan shows up, and it's makes my day. So if I can make his day by simply just playing a little bit of Fortnite, you know, it makes my day that I made his day. It's pretty weird. It's a rainbow connection. What are you doing in here? But he lives in a completely different part of the globe. And, you know, I don't know much. So I feel like he would be the perfect guy. You know, right? Hopefully by then I'd have a lot of money saved up, used, you know, right? Joining the military, so I'll hopefully be saving my money pretty well. Be like, hey, wanna show me around? Wanna do this, do that? I don't, you know. I don't know, maybe have him point something out, right? Like, maybe he doesn't have, like, a Nintendo Switch or something. I've seen people do that, where, they see somebody, like a YouTuber that they like and know, and, like, that was one of the two YouTubers that I seen, Dashy Games, right? Yeah, Dashy Games, because Dashy XP's more skits. And I believe he did it on Instagram, because he really doesn't put that stuff on YouTube. But you look on his Instagram, and he, you know, the guy is just like, hey, I see you, Dashy, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, oh, cool, you know, he's meeting his fans, even though it's more his fans just kind of found him and every time or whatever. But you know, like the fan was saying, like they were talking about like Nintendo or something like that, and they brought up the guy who was just like, oh, you know, I don't have the Switch. And sure enough, what they do, they go to the store. Dashi goes and buys him the Switch with some games, and it's just like, wow, that's crazy, you know. And for all we know, they probably, you know, have each other added on the Nintendo, and you know they're just good buds, you know. Sorry. And that's kind of the thing that like I want to do also. It's kind of like a little secret though. Be like, oh, you don't have this? Did you ever, you know, did you ever want it? Did you like that thing? Blah blah blah. And then he's just, you know, a good guy right and be like, you know, it's cool, but I don't know, you know. Like, yeah, I'd want it, but I gotta save up or something. And then just be like, well, I guess I'm gonna buy it for myself. Just kidding, it's actually for you. No, you know, just because I don't know how else to, like, you know, repay this guy. You know, it's he's such a good guy too. I mean, we kind of already been through this. I mean, it's why he's good guy Ryan, because I know for a fact, like, if I do that, he'd be like, no, don't do that. Why are you doing this? He's like, you didn't have to do that, but I know he's gonna be happy about it. I'd be like, just take it, take it, take it. I mean, who knows? Could be the PlayStation 5, which honestly is gonna be way better than the Xbox, because I have no clue what the heck this new Xbox thing is. It's just basically a new version of the Xbox One. Um, instead of it being, you know, like a whole new. Oh my goodness. Instead of it being this like a whole new console or whatever, it's just hey dude, here's Xbox. Like, wasn't it supposed to be like the Xbox One Serana or something like that? I just used the freaking Fortnite skin as a name, but oops. But, yep. Heck, maybe he'd be satisfied with that. Maybe he just excuse me. Maybe just in the future, right? We're just, you know, mind our own business, doing our thing. You know, we hanging out in person or something. And there's like something on Fortnite. He's like, whoa, dude, that's so dope. And then it's like, oh, really? You like that? Bam. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's like, really cool. You think that's cool, dude? And then just purchase it. That's gonna be one day. Watch. It's gonna happen eventually. I feel like, you know, I owe it to good guy Ryan after everything, you know. And you guys can always leave ideas, but you might want to do that via Discord. Link for that's gonna be down below, because honestly, if good guy Ryan knows, it won't be a much of a surprise. You don't want to see me in a dark kitchen somewhere so that I can't. My friend did rather he paid a cameo for Chris Hansen to wish me a happy birthday, and this guy went kind of all out. He was like, is that your username? Blah blah blah. Montana 69. I'm just like, what? Like, where is he saying this? And he's just like, sounds very Predator-like. I'm just like, oh boy. So in case if you don't know who Chris Hansen is, he is very well known for catching child predators, which is a good thing, obviously. I mean, you're getting the bad people off the streets. So it's I think it's 2 shows: Chris Hansen vs. Predator, and then To Catch a Predator. And you know, he was bringing up because he messaged Chris Hansen for the thing, saying like, oh yeah, he talks to underage furries, and I'm just like, oh no, like, why did you tell him that? And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was just, the whole time I was just like, man, why? But it's really hilarious. I really loved, the effort, you know, the cost too, to go ahead and have him go and ask for for that video, because it's so goofy. You know, to just be like, yeah, my friend, he likes furries, and it's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, now I got a bad image. Now Chris Hansen himself thinks I'm like furries. You know? So, yeah. Chris Hansen, the guy who catches child predators, thinks we like furries. Well, it could be a joke, um, but man, oh man, it was a great birthday gift. You know, people were getting me some stuff. I think the best in terms of like physical, I'd probably say maybe some clothes and I mean, well, that could even be broken down further. Okay, so maybe the best physical thing would be the oh my goodness. Uh, uh, what is it called? Pokemon Shield, right? Pokemon Sword and Shield came out, and a lot of people were complaining about Sword and Shield, right? And some of the complaints were like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to see Pokemon when you're out in the wild, or you're not gonna be able to, um, you know, do certain things that were in this and that." And um, realistically speaking, like it still works in the end. By the end of the day, right? Because I finally have my copy of Pokemon Shield, which of course I had to get Shield because it looked awesome. Now there's a whole thing about Sword and Shield that I think I saw somewhere when I was looking at the Pokedex. And even just seeing the Pokemon for myself. Usually in the beginning, if you guys haven't seen any gameplay or anything, what the game actually does is it shows you, there's a little segment where it shows you the legendary Pokemon of the game that you chose. So if you chose Pokemon Sword, then you would get the Pokemon who has the sword. If you chose Pokemon Shield, you get the Pokemon who has a shield. It's always been that way. Ever since one of the Game Boy games, I believe. Because for a while, most of it's been like Pokemon Green, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red. And on the cover of those would be, you know, your starter Pokemon. You know, like Pokemon Yellow has Pikachu on the cover. So it doesn't mean that Pikachu is a legendary Pokemon. It's just, you know, for those, I believe that's the Kanto region. I could be very wrong. But those are the original 152, I believe. It could be 151, actually. Pokemon that were out at the time. There was only 3 legendary birds, and there was 2 legendary ones, Mew and Mewtwo. And the way that worked was, you could get the 3 birds and Mewtwo, but to get Mew, and even in the remake, it kind of sucks that you have to do that as also, you have to get it through a specific, like, let's say, like, for the Game Boy, right, back in the day, when you were playing, really, when you were playing, Pokemon Red or Blue, heck, even Yellow, you weren't able to get Mew because that was from special events. Like if Nintendo or Pokemon, whichever, did something, then you could get it that way, or you had to get it through some other way. I forgot. It was like 2 different ways to get it. It was a promotion or a limited time thing. It's kind of the same thing. So in terms of like the new one, like the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, what really sucks is you can use the Pokemon Let's Go app to transfer Pokemon, but you cannot transfer the legendary ones, which I think is pretty dumb. I think you should be able to go out and transfer those Pokemon. And another one is in Sword and Shield. They should have also programmed a couple things. One, I understand why they don't have the what's it called? They do not have the excuse me. I could see why they don't have the Pokeball Plus as a workable or usable controller in a sense, because a couple things. One, you wouldn't have access to your bicycle. The only way to get access to your bicycle is by pressing the pause button or the power or plus or minus button. Don't know what you guys call them. That's one way of getting on the bike. And if you have the Pokeball Plus, you know that, well, you can't do that. The only way to get around and move fast is to use your Pokemon. And you'd be like, well, why doesn't Sword and Shield just do that? Well, I don't think they thought of it. I don't think they wanted it to go back to like its roots, which is why I think maybe a lot of people hate that idea of like, of, you know, my goodness, of you know, Game Freak taking away you know, that cool feature of, you know, like, hey, we have the ability to you know, like, ride a Pokemon and, you know, that ordeal. So oh right, this is where we do whoops. Oh yeah, we did do dark. I don't know why I thought I was doing the opposite. Okay, so we just need to color it in more. This is powder. We have red on us also? Yes, we do. My neck. I don't know if you guys could hear those pops. I mean, I was playing with the World of Jay, and he said he couldn't even hear my fan, and that was pretty dang close to my fan. It was pretty much like in my face. So, I mean, if you can't hear the fan, then I'm pretty sure you can't hear the pops. But who knows? You never know. I kind of hate to autosave on this game sometimes. Like, it genuinely makes me feel like the game is lagging and it has an issue. That's my I don't know if I want to say concern. It's kind of my hate for what Microsoft has done for Minecraft, okay? So I apologize, okay, if you love Minecraft the way it is, okay? But not me. I can't sometimes. What else? Oh, and anybody, okay, I'm bringing this up now. If anybody on Valentine's Day is gonna go see Sonic, don't hate it. No, I'm joking. You're entitled to your own opinion on it. I think I might be biased a little bit because I do like Sonic. And to be completely honest with you guys, it's kind of a surprise that he is getting his own movie. I mean, you know, with the success of it anyway, with Detective Pikachu, you know, it's actually pretty surprising to see. It's pretty surprising to see, you know, some other studio bring up such an iconic character and use them for a movie. Now, apparently, or I shouldn't say apparently, rather that there is a trailer out there already that came out in Japan. I don't think we got it yet, or we ever will. But it's already showing a baby Sonic, or a child Sonic, which is pretty interesting, because if this movie, let's say, or rather it won't be, because technically Sonic X, in a sense, is canon, but it's not really, because I mean, it's the story. If you guys watch Sonic X, honestly, I would recommend it, because it is a great animation. It's a great cartoon. Of course, you guys can always argue, oh, but like, you like anime or something like that. But it's like, no. And that's the thing. I think I brought this up before, but you can debate whether or not, you know, the quote, their term, cartoons, is, I guess, like, I don't know if I want to say offensive, or some type of culture appropriation or something. I really don't care too much about it. But at the end of the day, I mean, just do a little bit of research, or just go ask somebody who, or rather, you don't even need to ask them in that way. Just simply, oh, I did this a little bit wrong. I need to take one out. Okay. But what was it? Somebody did like a research thing. They were like, oh well, is anime and cartoons the same thing? And when talking to this person or that person, do I say this? Do I say that? And they literally just say like, well, looky here, bud. Like, if you go to a Japanese person and you ask them, what's your favorite anime? Don't be surprised when they say something like Family Guy, or The Amazing World of Gumball. Those are like really shows that I remember. But the idea is, if you want to be completely honest, anime is just short for animation. Oh, excuse me. So, they said don't be surprised when, you ask somebody that and they say like something, just saying. So don't be surprised. Jinx, how you doing? Pretty late, or early? I don't know anybody's time zones. We just kind of talk about stuff and then things happen. You're gonna have to forgive me if you're staying here to watch for a while. You're gonna have to forgive me for my horrible sickness, which, I mean, it's not too bad. We've been containing it for quite a while. No, sorry. This is not open for business. Sorry. Although, I was gonna offer up a different deal. I was gonna say, if you play like Epic Games or stuff, there is a possibility on a different day and time. Usually I do allow people to go ahead and join. Typically it's for Save the World, so it's kind of got variables to it. But we are opening up to more different things, just saying. 12, so you must be Western. You're probably near the coast. I'd say California-ish, if I had to take a guess. Watch it be Nevada. What I would be like, ugh. Oh gosh. Let's break this down. Actually, I don't even know what parts. Did I do the outline right? I'm hoping this comes out well. Oh man. Wait, did we run out of our beverage? That was the only thing. Oh man. Well, it looks like we're back to drinking water. Things never change for us, do it? Alright. So you have this... Looking at it now, I'm realizing this is kind of a goofy outline. I want it, though. It's pretty big, but I'm having an idea. Now, I may not fit, but we need to guarantee a couple things. One, we need to guarantee that it'll reach a certain length and a certain height, because I'm more than willing to just cut those down and redo it differently, and then see if it's possible to do a different model and arrange things a bit differently. So I need to point out, I can never find my pen. This is why we get nowhere. We're always losing our whatchamacallits, here it is, our pens, our writing utensils. So I want to double check, make sure everything is fine, because we could more than likely, highly doubt it though, create the pattern here, or, yeah, just pattern here, because if we do it on the walls, it would be pretty cool, it just wouldn't look right. So I just want to guarantee that we need the most, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we'll make like a spot here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it won't fit that way. It would fit that way, but it is way too long. Ooh. It's kind of unfortunate. I really wanted to, unless let me look at it again, because I'm thinking we change it up, and instead of doing, you know, this like 2D and attempting to make it into some type of 3D figurine, we go ahead and look at somebody else who actually knows what they're doing, model it that way, and have this 3D figure right here behind the castle. Options and choices for it seem to be pretty hard for someone like me, because I can never decide whether I want something to be looking one way or another. And especially with this, there's 4 different options, meaning each has about a 25% chance of being able, if it is an equal equation, right? Like just equally alike everything. But other than that, it's pretty biased. Sometimes it's like, or I wouldn't say biased, more like a 50-50. I prefer 2 over the other 2. But I think what we should do though is is look at someone who knows how to do it, and then just copy off that. Can't be too hard. Hopefully it's nothing too big. I'm gonna get rid of this modeling one that I was doing. And let's see if we can find somebody who actually has one. The hour's still good. Everything is still good. Mine raft. Wow. Alligator. Whoops. Maybe I should put build. And let's look for what is the best one, because some of these are kind of decent, and this one just looks like a mess. Okay, that looks pretty dope. It is in the water, though. I mean, ours could be coming out of a rock. That would be pretty dope. Oh, what is that? No, I don't have time to be doing stuff like that. That's humongous. Alright, we're just going to focus on doing this one then, I think. It looks like a much better investment, and we'd only need about a couple colors, and I don't know. Let's see. It is something, I never heard of this. Planet Minecraft. Okay, so I'm guessing this is just an area where people just put their stuff, and you tell them, hey, look what I did, and they just kind of comment. Um, Here, let's do like a video instead of looking at images. To build a gator in Minecraft. Let's put it like that. How to build a gator in Minecraft. And hopefully not these spawner ones. There's a ton of these. Okay, well, it looks like the only one that seems to be available is that. Maybe there's another animal. There's gonna be another creature we can do. Yes. Oh, this one's actually made out of stone. I actually want to see something about this. Hold on. Because it says a head portal. Yo, this is actually pretty dope. I mean, ma'am, you did a fantastic job. I don't, like, my goodness. This is actually really dope. It's a head of a dragon. And you know what? We just might do that. It looks pretty dope. Of course, it's going to use things like slabs and stairs, which I don't think we can do with these concrete materials. Now, I could be wrong, but I do believe we aren't going to be able to make stairs and stuff out of it. But it's always good to be wrong and proven so. Yeah, see, there's no kind of slab or anything, which is pretty unfortunate. But it looks so cool to the point where I'm gonna just cancel on this little project that we were just doing and honestly just go for that one because it looks so much better than what we were doing. Now we do have some cobblestone, almost a stack. We are going to need more, so I'm going to make 2 more of these and we're just gonna dig for a while. Now we do have black concrete, so at least this is something we can use instead of maybe any other materials. We're just gonna keep that in there for a bit. And this is what I love about this little world of ours. We gone ahead and created and invested time into it. So like here I called it the miner's shack. I don't know why, but I just called it that. This thing, I tried so hard to make it work to be cool and stuff, and it just doesn't, so we'll just not do that. But this is a pretty big mine, so we're gonna try not to get lost. Hopefully. Again, I have to apologize for all the coughing. Apparently I'm supposed to go exercising at like 8 a.m., which is a couple hours. How many to be exact? That would be... we could round it to 5.5 hours. Which is insane, because honestly, I already know, you know, I need to do cardio and stuff, but like, to be honest, doing exercises when you're sick, it just feels horrible now. Of course, it's up for debate. People say like, oh, you just have a sore throat or something like that. If you have like a sore throat, then yeah, it's fine. If you have like, I don't know, something else. There was like a couple other things. But then if it was saying like, oh, if you have headaches and this and that, then don't do it. And I'm just like, but like one of the symptoms or reasonings they said to not exercise is if you're coughing. And I'm like, bruh, like, don't you cough when you have a sore throat? Like, or am I the only one who does that? Like, right now, it's, I don't know if I want to say it's still sore. I want to say it's, like, scratchy or irritated. And that's what's causing me to cough. So that's why I'm like, so is it still the same scenario? Anything like that? Blah, blah, blah. You know, but nope. Of course it's not. Oh
surprised we actually lasted this this long with this project of ours, or rather, the fact that we even stayed up this long. Clearly, I'm gonna need a mix of materials. I'm gonna be needing stone, cobblestone, and brick stones. Sometimes I like doing this, where it like you go around the wall, but you just break it, so it's not like this little thing. Just it's even bigger. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I still need to stop by the bank. I just realized. Oh, nice. We got Venom himself. How you doing? Big fan. Big fan. Especially that one where you beat Spider-Man and almost eat him. That's my favorite one. Let's bring 4 more. I think 3 stacks should be fine. We'll do 1 of each, like 1 stack dedicated for, you know what? How am I gonna do that if we don't have any coal? If I were coal, I don't know why. Well, first of all, I need to figure out how to get out of here. Oh, found coal. Okay. I was gonna say, if I was coal, where would I be? And I was thinking more like at somebody's building, but you know, I mean, this works out too. Oh yeah, let's break these. Uh, 12, that ain't gonna be enough. I already know it. See, maybe I should have been doing Fortnite. Maybe I should have been doing Fortnite and then getting upset about those not getting a victory royale. I mean, we have a lot. In fact, I looked at my record. 46 duo wins isn't bad. I do wish it was a bit more, but 46 duo wins, most of them being because of me getting the final kill. It's not bad. Although, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Nah, I always bring up the idea, but then I never feel like, well, rather I do feel like, nothing. What is this guy texting me? I thought this guy would have been knocked out. Something about a Nigel? Huh? Yeah, it says that he and I'm gonna pass on that. More Baby Yoda stuff. Who would have thought Baby Yoda would have been the boom of the year? People are already saying it's the thing of the decade, but I mean, it's not been around that long. So I don't think it counts as the what is it? The meme of the decade. Sorry, Baby Yoda, but get out of here. Now, I don't know who it was, but apparently somebody said Batman, the Batman trilogy or something like that, or maybe it was just Batman Dark Knight Rises, was like the movie of the decade. I'm just like, shut up. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong, the movie was fantastic. In fact, it's a good trilogy. They did mess up on the third. I think it could have been a little bit better, a little bit of changes. But there's no way that's the movie of the decade. No way. Or movies. There's got to be something else. I mean, I'd take the Tobey Maguire movies of Spider-Man over that. At least that makes more sense. I mean, that itself should be the meme of the decade. Because honestly, I feel like I've seen more Pizza Time and all that stuff, way more than anything else. I ain't wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong by showing me all the recent memes, and then go back like, what was it, 10 years or so on YouTube poop and look up Spider-Man, Pizza Time stuff, because those have been on YouTube poop since the beginning, and I don't think anybody realizes that. Oh, that's where I had my bamboo. Well, bamboo gonna burn pretty darn fast. Holy cow. Jesus. It went through 8 of them? 4? 6? I don't even remember the number. But it went through them so freaking fast. I didn't even see if we had stone in here. Nah, of course not. Alright, so this is going to be a project. Wow, I actually feel kind of good that we're actually going back into our old ways and doing projects again. This is dope. Alright, so we're going to build a dragon head. Like this. So I think we should do it where... I mean, maybe we can make some more. Like, this is what I'm thinking. Maybe, okay, you can do, or rather I can do, 2 right here. So 1 here, looking obviously outward, and the same on the opposite side, right? It won't be obscuring that, or at least it shouldn't. But the first one that we're going to make, obviously, is going to be in the back. We'll take measurements from there to figure out what's the center point, and then figure out how to put it and display it. But back here, just looking back at it, look how bad that is. But just kind of coming back to this, it's just like, we could do one that's back here, looking away from the Jigumowitz, so it's looking this way, and then that be the one that you can go inside, and it has the what's that portal? The portal. Excuse me. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna make it to do exercise, because for one, I planned on doing cardio. 2, how am I gonna run like 2 miles when I'm coughing? Think about it. Now I don't know how long this you know, I'm supposed to assume, right? But if I had to take a guess, this person's gonna be wanting to sit there, do the easiest thing. I gotta do the light things before I do heavy. Nah. When I did CrossFit, I didn't do no easy stuff at first. Well, technically, I mean, no, even then. Because the first thing, I remember the first day, he said, everybody do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. Simple as that. It was the first day. It was like, what the heck? So we're like, alright, fine. So some people obviously finished first. Some people obviously didn't do it. Some people just, I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel like that's just how it was. Like, imagine, you know, I mean, I understand, like, we're young. When you're young, you got some muscles. Okay, I wouldn't say muscle, but you got the energy and stuff to do it. So I remember being able to do it, being sore, and that was, like, the first lesson. It was like, well, you guys are sore, aren't you? Well, if you work out, then maybe you won't be. And it's like, whoa, that opened my mind. Really, it was just a lesson to be like, hey, if you exercise more, then you'd be kind of physically ready, I suppose. And another good thing about it was making, you know, if you wanted to lose weight, it was a good way of, well, losing weight. And a lot of people are pretty insecure. Well, I mean, there's differences. There's people who are insecure, and then there's just people who just think that they're fat, and they're just like, oh, I gotta do it, but then they just kind of go lazy and stuff. So it's, to me personally, it's disappointing to see that. You know, especially when I had a friend who really was trying to make progress with her own, you know, figure and her weight, and she was making progress. So, you know, she was, at first when we did, you know, our little like mile exercises in between, you know, she was doing it in, I think it was like 18 minutes, and then eventually she was doing it in like 14, and then I think at some point it got to 12 or 10. I think it might have been 12. And it's just like, wow, look at that. Like, look at that improvement, you know? And, or it wasn't a whole mile, it was a half mile, my bad. But that's the thing, you know, it's a nuisance to have to hear, and it's mostly, and I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna happen every time. If you're in school, you're gonna see it most. If you go to a gym, you're not in school anymore, you go to a gym. Typically, it's just people I actually don't even know, to be completely honest. Because usually when I go to a gym, people are actually working out. Usually I see videos of people like, oh, this is how you do the machine, and it's nowhere close to what it's doing. Like, it's sorry, I can't even laugh. It's like hurting me. Oh, I hate that darn save. Like, it's insane. It's just like, in school, do you have these little girls, I need to lose weight, I need to get into shape, and it's like, for what? Just so you go and party to ruin your body? Like, I don't understand. That's why, if you ever wondered, like, man, why is the parents so strict or something? Because you act dumb when you're young. That's a fact. If I still acted dumb when I was, young, I probably would have already been, probably wouldn't even be doing these streams, these videos and making content. Like, I genuinely could have been, the age of 16 and already having a baby. It was at that's how serious it was for me at that point. And I'm pretty happy that it like hit me at the time to be like, no, we're not really ready for this. And it's just, my mentality has been fixed ever since, because it was kind of at that point where it's like, we're young, whatever, let's just do this and experiment, and that's the mentality that's bound to happen. And being so young, and there's a lot of things to it. You could say it's genetics, you could just say it's evolution. People have been doing that in the past, just because of things like medication was very different, and men were typically the ones who would die first, so that's why you would always see older men, or was it that way? I think it was like older men would be with younger women or something like that, vice versa. Just because like men would die so soon. I don't know. It's pretty weird. We live in a weird world. But that's kind of history for you. A little bit of history, if you didn't know that. That's why I would say that's probably why it's a bit normal, right? When everybody says, what? Well, I mean, I never really personally been through this or like seen anybody go through this, but people say when like, oh, it's okay for a man to get with a younger girl, but when a woman gets with a younger guy, it's a problem. And I'm just like, I don't know. My gosh. Oh man. I don't know. So don't quote me. No, it's been a crazy life. I don't know if I'm ready for what is to come. But it's how do you say it? It's hitting me how life could be so different if I would have gone through with a lot of different things, or not have gone through certain things in my past. Because when I was at around the age 15, 16, had this awesome girlfriend, and we still kind of have each other added, right, like on Snapchat. I don't think we have each other on Facebook, at least not anymore. But Snapchat, we have each other, and talk kind of rarely, and it's it just kind of hits me to think like, man, if if I were to go through this with her before I even get out of school, I would have already been a father, and that would have kind of, how would you say, that would have postponed me in so many different things, like I already feel postponed as is, but as of like that point, it's pretty crazy.
Thank you. It's probably because I'm sick that it's sounding pretty smooth, but thank you. um, See, it's great to hear. See, I love hearing things like that. So it's pretty awesome to hear. Wait, I just realized your Jessica's picture is oh my gosh, it's the bee. It's the bee from the Bee Movie. Oh my god. That's killing me. That's really killing me. I'm dying. Oh man. Alright, we're gonna make another stack of that, but that's freaking gold. See, what are the odds? We had Venom and the Bee both come in. I feel like we're officially a part of the Disney universe. We're gonna go out in the world one day, and we're gonna just see the Venom. I always loved Venom. Okay, let me see this now. I've always been a fan of Venom, so we're just gonna we're gonna merge with Venom, and then we're gonna see the Bee, and then the Bee's gonna sting us or something. No, because don't the bees die after they do that? We're gonna see the Bee. We're gonna be best buddies with him. He's our sidekick now. I don't know. That's pretty great. Wow. I see. I wouldn't think my voice would be soothing. I would feel like my voice would be annoying at some point, especially since I'm sick. Which I don't understand. I mean, does anybody really work out or exercise when they're sick? Alright, at most we're going to give it another 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes, we're going to call it there. Because, to be completely honest with you, we're way past the original time that we were going to do this. Ah, but man, oh man. Where are these dogs barking at? Ah, I see why. Because somebody's coming home late. Ugh. Now we'll look at Instagram in a bit. What I'm gonna do is, what account is this? This is this one. Yeah, you know, that's fine. I'm gonna use, oh wow, this person actually has a Discord. Okay, I wouldn't mind going ahead and messaging them via Discord and see where things go. Although they are pretty successful. 10,000? That's insane. Wow, 1 a.m.? It's basically 3 here. Well, really, it's 2:40, but, gonna have to catch you later, Jessica. But yeah, to be completely honest, I think we should save this little tutorial thing that we have right here into an account, or rather into a little playlist. Use that to, go ahead and, well, I don't really know, just save it? Oh, really? It says, uploaded to a different channel cannot be added to, wait, how does that even work? I'm confused. It says, video uploaded to a different channel cannot be added to a series playlist. So, what? Alright, well, I guess we'll just save a link. I think a link would be way better, in terms for us to, have quick access. It keeps taking us to YouTube. Okay, I thought we would save a link, but I don't think that's how it's gonna work. So yeah, so that's gonna be the plan for next time. Alright, I think the next time we might take a little bit of a break from Fortnite. Alright, just do a little bit something different. And you know, go into developing more and getting more and more involved in, you know, decorating this area. Whoops. You know, we really haven't been focusing too much on creatively decorating this area too much, you know, giving it that little extra detail to um, further, well, basically make it look good. I don't think there needs to be any other words to say, hey, let's make this area look nice. So, I think we're just going to end up saving that for later today or tomorrow. Depends how we are. Because honestly, if we're really going to exercise at 8 a.m., I'm probably going to feel tired. And most likely we won't be doing what we do. um, really depends. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll feel energetic because I do take pre and post workout. Post workout really is just, you could just take a protein shake, to be 100% completely honest with you. But yeah. We're just gonna say that for another day. I have to apologize for trying to, you know, getting a bit too real there. um, you know, going ahead and talking about how I could have already been like a father by now for just simply, you know, making some bad choices, and you know, just being completely honest with you. Yeah, I feel pretty great that I didn't make those choices. But just to wrap up on that idea, you know, kind of put it to an end. You know, I think my smart past self for not kind of caving into those thoughts and feelings, because that could have been pretty bad for us in a sense. You know, part of me now has been, you know, like, it's something that I've wanted, but yet never really done that. Never have. I mean, obviously in the future I do plan on being a dad, but you know, simple little things at, you know, the age of 16, you know, I've seen people, you know, even if they're not 16, at the age of 18, who are now already in their 20s, with kids, and each one so far has been, you know, like, and I, you know, I trust them well. Even one of my exes actually has a has a son, and of course, what does she do? Names it after the father. So I'm just like, really? So, uh, and like, I'm not trying to be rude, like, oh really, you're gonna do that? The only reason why I say really is because that was the idea that when I was, you know, with my that ex at the time, they wanted to do the same exact thing. Wanted, if we have a boy, wanted to name it after me. And I was just like, no, I don't want to have little, you know, another little Neo running around with the same name and everything. Let's put a different name to that. But you know, it's something. And like I said, like, one of them, you know, she was like, at the time she was like a sister to me. You know, I was, you know, she felt, I say genuinely upset, because typically some people can be upset about stuff, and you know, they typically don't, you know, just react for a while, but it's not really a big deal. But this was like a big deal, and she was really upset about it, which was, you know, she had a miscarriage, and it was, you know, in school we're just like, oh snap, like what do we do, you know? And it's definitely hard for, you know, someone who doesn't have that experience, and, you know, especially not having the same body. It's really hard to give a opinion, or not even like just any type of idea or moral, into the situation, you know. And that's something that has more recently, been something that's been on debate.
is who has control over like the woman's body. Now, obviously, the woman's body is the woman's body, so she gets a decision. But what's been bigger is who gets to choose if a woman wants to get an abortion or not. Now, plain and simple, both parties, right? If it takes two to tango, right? So the thing is, this is like a political thing, I guess, at this point. But when you, um, decide to do the whoop with the whoop, um, the devil's tango, as a few will call it, um, you know, I then at that point, who has a say? Now, there's many times where people will go to court and fight over like who has custody of a child, and that's another situation where I noticed that sometimes even like in court, a judge will say, well, um, too bad, you can't just say that it's only going to be you doing something or you not doing something, because it takes two to make one. So it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. No, no, but it's definitely true. So I feel like whenever we do that whole thing about, oh, it's my body, I do what I want. It's, for one, sure, it's your body. You can do what you want with it. But when it comes to something as important as, aborting a baby, which I think is wrong, but if you do, what was it? If you get it within the first trimester, before, was it like the nerve system and all that is like fully developed, um, you know, it's fine. But that's like what? That's a couple months. I think it's like 2-3 months or something like that. Oh yeah, because it's in threes and 3 to 9. So yeah, it's like you have 3 months basically to decide something very important, and apparently some people don't see it after a certain while, and I still think you're dumb. Because to be completely honest, I mean, me, even as a male, and I did that, maybe like 2-3 weeks later, I'd be like, you should get a test just to check, just in case. Then they should probably be like, we never did that, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. Sorry for the coughing. But that's just me. What can I say? I'm a pretty weird guy, I guess. But just morally, everything correct. Just don't do anything dumb. Okay? Don't know anybody's ages. You guys are probably younger, you guys are probably older, you're probably the same age. Don't know, but I want to make sure that each and every one of you are doing good, and that you're making the right choices. Because like I said, if I would have kept going with the dumb choices that I was doing when I was back 15, 16 years old, I could have already been a dad by now with, let me see, they would be like, what, 4? They'd be 4 years old. That's insane. That's already a kid that's, at 4 years old. What did they do? Aren't they doing kindergarten by then? Of course, I could be wrong. It's probably like 6 or something. But, wait, 12? 8. So, 13, 14, 15, 16, something, 18. Yeah, okay. So 2 more years, and then they could do, like, first grade or whatever. But, that's just the idea, the concept. It's like, wow, if this really would have happened, my life could be very different. Who knows? I probably would have never had the surgery. I probably would have already maybe never enlisted in the military, and even if I did, I probably would have already been gone. And there's so much that could have changed, and who knows? Probably a lot more.
Probably would have hanged out with the wrong people. Probably would have got hooked on something that I shouldn't. Joined some things that I shouldn't, and you know, uh, you know, God bless the way that I came out. And to be completely honest, I know we have a couple people like Good Guy Ryan, Vinicius, Jinx, Venom 4G, Jessica coming out, and even if it was a simple hi. Although Jessica, you get a special shout out just because of the fact that you said I had a super, okay, soothing voice. That gives you bonus points. So that means you are today's loser. No, I'm joking. Things like that means a lot, and I love hearing those. It makes my day. It makes me want to continue going ahead and making videos for you guys, and seeing where things go from there. So yeah. Really? That's all for today. I don't know where this even started from school and Minecraft into how life choices really changed everything. But I do appreciate each and every single one of you that do tune in, especially if you come back. If you're new, it's awesome that you give me, a bit of your time. Sure, it may not be the best, coming in, but it's something that I was hoping, we'd be able to go ahead and do something with you guys, build a bit of a, community, like I said, which leads us into our outro. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you actually did watch, please do go ahead, leave us a like. Lets me know that you guys at least enjoyed what I did or talked about, either or. There's also our other channel, the Zabin Project, where I'm still kind of debating whether or not we'll go on there talking about stuff and maybe do a bit of like a vlog, I suppose. I mean, if we do anything like that. I think anything vlog-wise, we'll leave it here. But if you go to the other channel, the Zabin Project, we do put up edited videos for you guys. So if that's something that you are interested in or maybe want to invest in, as much as I will with editing those videos, check it out. It's pretty awesome. We do have Fortnite stuff on there if you're a Fortnite person. We do have some other things on there that I'm hoping to kind of get back into, like our Red Dead Outlaws for Life series, possibly our GTA Criminal Stories series also. I think those are like the three major things that we have on that channel. Kind of hoping we can go ahead and add in new things. We also have like a behind the scenes, which is really just the goofs, the gaffs, the bloopers, in a sense, for everything that goes on in like Fortnite. I'm hoping that we could get maybe some more content like that. Maybe there's going to be other games. I was going to say Borderlands, but I don't think that's one that really has a lot of editing stuff for us. But typically a third-person game seems to be perfect. So who knows? Maybe we'll get into Fallout 76, which you can play in third person, although I typically don't. We could probably play Elder Scrolls, see if anybody's up for that. Well, of course, if anybody pays their PlayStation Network. And anything else like that, really, just better. Other than those, please go into the About tab, look into our description. I think if you look in the stream tab thing, I forgot what it's called. I think that's the description. You go there, we're going to have our link for Discord. You could go ahead and you could join Discord that way. Or, like I said, you could go to the About section, which is
under the channel, you go into the channel's page on YouTube. You go all the way into the tab that says About. Once you click on that or select it, go down to the very bottom, not that far, and there's gonna be a link there. That would be our Discord link. You can click on that, completely free to make an account if you don't have one. If you do, you click on it and it takes you directly into our Discord server where you can go ahead and join. You can talk about yourself a little bit. You get to know each and every one of us, hopefully. And we'll go ahead and we'll add in more and more and more. As long as more and more of you guys are coming in, we can go ahead and add more to the channel. We'll hopefully be at some point working on trying to acquire a capture card in order to live stream other content for you guys. For example, I've been wanting to do Smash Bros. I've been wanting to do a bit of an edit with Smash Bros. Sometimes I've been wanting to do like and I think we could do this, maybe do something a bit different, where we can record kind of off our phone. It might be good, might not be good. Recording from our phone of like, hey, look, we're training our amiibos or something, and allowing people to fight it, maybe do voiceovering, see where it goes from there, to be completely honest with you. It may not be the best, but we'll figure something out. Or the best of amiibo, I don't know. Best of Smash, something like that. But live streams would be awesome. I'd be able to go ahead and let you guys basically say whatever you want. And then you can judge my Nintendo skills. We could play Pokemon on there. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. We could do oh, excuse me, anything else. Like, well, we got Mega Man on there. We got Mega Man X. We got Mario Kart. We got Smash Bros. We got, I forgot the rest. Breath of the Wild. I'll leave it at that. Those would be awesome things. Again, it might be a while before we can accomplish those or acquire those to go ahead and create more content for you guys. But again, join our Discord. Tell us about yourself. Let us know, or rather, I say us, but really it's mostly me. But there's one other moderator, admin there, moderator, whatever you want to call it. There's one other person there who helps me out with it. It'd be perfect if, you know, kind of go easy on it. You know, you guys can talk to each other about stuff. Let us know what things you want to get involved with, and I could try to figure it out. Like, for example, you guys like playing Smash Bros. That's something that we already have on there. You could go ahead. You can go into those sections. That one I made public for everybody because I don't know who's invested in those. The only one I do have kind of different are anybody who's our Moon Monkeys, which is basically the name for like admins, and anybody else who does Fortnite. Like, if you guys get invested with Fortnite, whether it be Save the World or anything else, it's that. We do have a like a code thing or coloring, so anybody who's a Save the World hero will show up in yellow, and you can guarantee that if you need help, anything like that, those would be the people who are going to come and help you out. And then if you're just regular blue, that means you're just a Fortnite person, anything like that. Other than that, thank you for watching again. Hit the like, subscribe here. Hit the like and subscribe for the other channel. I mean, come on. If we have 50 subs here, you guys need to go ahead and sub to the other channel. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time, when maybe we'll focus more on building our sculptures. Even though it's not really mine, but we'll focus more on building. Until then, see you guys, and as always, please do stay healthy.